Brother Ron, and welcome to We All Be News Radio and TV, the news-free Dixie for the 21st century.
We All Be is honored to have on the one and only SiStar, Alba Roland.
How you doing?
I'm good. It's great to have you here. All the way from Cali. Got that Cali love coming through down in the Mid-South. She is on a mission to tell a story that needs to be told and better understood for this generation and beyond. How are you doing today, SiStar?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me.
So what's going on? Tell us about your mission.
So my mission here in Memphis is to, one, better understand Memphis and the culture of Memphis, because like you said, I'm from the Bay Area, I'm from California, so I do not want to tell a story that I do not know. So that's my first step, is to understand Memphis and the people. And the story that I want to tell is basically the story of Memphis, the city of Memphis, between the sanitation workers' march and the assassination of MLK, and what could have led up to that, and the status of the city during that time period.
So what got you interested in telling that story? What made you do that?
I first got introduced to it through the story of Ernest Withers, and the headlines that he was creating after he passed. And that's what triggered my interest, because I had no idea about COINTELPRO, I had no idea about Project Ghetto, informants, I didn't even know that was a thing. So that's what got me introduced to it. And then once I started researching that is when I started learning more about Memphis history and about the Sanitation Workers March, and how some people call it a riot, and what happened, what triggered that, and everything that happened during that time period.
That's cool. So what did you learn about yourself in this process of researching this information?
I think the biggest thing that I've learned so far, and it's something that we were talking about earlier, was that in these situations, especially in this time period in the South, I feel like there is no right and wrong. There is just what it is. And I don't think anybody is in the state in which they can judge whatever happened, whether it's on the left side or the right side, up or down, whatever it may be. So what I'm here is to better understand all of the sides, to get a better understanding of what actually happened and why people made certain decisions and what could have triggered that.
So do you think the controversy surrounding Ernest Withers, as far as being an informant, does it hurt or help his legacy?
From what I've seen, when I first got introduced to it, I'm not gonna lie, I was very judgmental. And that's why I felt like I needed to make the trip to better understand it. And as far as whether it hurt or helped it, I don't think either. I think maybe it's helped, because it's brought awareness to it, and to his work, because I didn't know of his work beforehand. And doing further research, I was able to understand his situation and why he may have done what he did. So I don't have any negative thoughts about him or his family, and the people that I speak to don't seem to either. So I feel like the only people that have negative thoughts about this situation are people that don't know it.
So how has coming to Memphis, I guess it's your second time coming to Memphis, how has that informed your understanding of his legacy and also of the perception of Memphis? What's your takes on Memphis?
I think that's what I just said was understanding that, you know, people of Memphis and people that knew Ernest don't see him as a villain, and see him as a person that was in a situation. And even the people that may have been on the opposite side do not villainize him. Everybody seems to have love for him, and everybody seems to understand his situation. Of course, there are some that don't, but for the most part, from what I've learned and from the people that I've met, people are very understanding, and people are still loving. And it doesn't matter what I've learned from Memphis and the people of Memphis, it doesn't matter what you've been through, people are still going to be there for you.
So do you think that your generation and your peer group, do they have a great understanding or good understanding of the civil rights generation or that movement or that era?
I can't speak for my entire generation. I can speak for myself, and for myself, I did not have a good understanding. I still don't feel like I have a good understanding, and that's why I'm here, is to hopefully get a better understanding and gain some knowledge while I'm here. As far as my generation, I can't speak for them, but I don't feel like we know as much as we should.
So how do you think you can contribute to a better understanding for your generation and future generations with the work you're doing? How can you contribute to that cause?
I feel like what I can do is come out here and do my research, and like you were mentioning, tell my truth and what I've learned, and tell a story and help spread awareness of Memphis and of the civil rights movement. The only way that I can through my medium is film.
So who are some of your film heroes and sheroes?
My film heroes, of course, Ava. Ava is amazing. She's my role model. I aspire to be like Ava DuVernay. Barry Jenkins is huge on my list. What he's been able to do, and it's not even necessarily what he's been able to achieve. It was his route to get there. There were years spent for Barry where he didn't know what he wanted to do. He was unsure of himself. He was having second thoughts. And I'm talking about a 10-year gap between, when he started and when he created. So I think his journey inspires me a lot to know to never give up, because it doesn't matter what age, I know I will make something great.
That's excellent. Yeah. How would you describe your own filmmaking process? What's your style? Do you have a style that you're aware of?
My style. I feel like I'm very early on in my career to know my style or be aware of it. But one thing that I do try to do in my most recent projects is fully understand what I'm trying to tackle and understand how it connects to me, because I feel that I have no place saying a story that I don't feel connected to. And you can tell when filmmakers make a film that they're not directly connected to. It comes off as very dry, very robotic. So a big thing that I've been trying to do is whatever I approach is to make sure that I have a connection to it somehow.
What is the hardest part about filmmaking? What's the hardest part?
Technically or creatively?
It's your choice, whatever you feel.
Technically, like the hardest part of filmmaking for me has been funding and just making sure that I'm able to get the tools necessary in order to make my projects, because there's a lot of talent out there, but they're hidden because of their situations. Like personally for me, I got a super late start because I don't come from a big city. I come from Salinas, California, which is an agriculture town, mainly focused on manual labor jobs, and that's what everyone is supposed to get into. And by the time I realized that filmmaking wasn't even an option for me, I was well into my 20s. So I think just like having the access to it is very difficult for people like me, the people that look like me, from small cities like me, and getting that late start is a little frustrating, but it's not going to stop me, and I don't think it's going to stop anybody else. So that's what I hope to inspire others that come from cities like I do.
And what's the easiest part?
Easiest part? Oh gosh. Of filmmaking. I feel like the easiest part and the most fun part for me is being able to watch other creatives and to learn from them. Mm-hmm. I was so inspired. Right now I'm here at the Indie Memphis Film Festival, watching screenings and engaging in panels and discussions and understanding other people's process. And I feel like that helps fuel me to understand other creatives and why they choose to do what they do, and that's the easiest and the most fun.
That's excellent. Well, I know you said you think you had a disadvantage because late entry, supposedly late entry, still young and beautiful, but late entry, talented too.
Uh-huh.
You think that living in the age of information and technology and social media, it has the interest been kind of easy to get into, the entry into this type of field?
I don't think it makes it easier
Okay.
at all. I think it makes it more difficult because more people have access, so there's a lot more competition. It makes it easier to gain knowledge, I suppose, because the knowledge is accessible, but you still, just because you know how to work a camera doesn't mean you have access to a camera. So, yeah, we have the knowledge, but we just, the phone, I guess that's another one, but it's hard to compare your phone movie to somebody's movie shot on a red camera who had funding from his Uncle Joe. Like, there are amazing films shot on phone, like Tangerine. I love Tangerine. Okay. So it's possible, but even that wasn't just shot on a phone. They had what do you call it, drones, and they had a lot of other things too. So it's hard to compare.
But they still had to think outside the box when they get done, right?
Yeah, I'm not saying anything is impossible. I'm not saying anything is impossible at all. It's anything that you want to achieve, you can achieve. From wherever you come from, or whatever you look like, anything is achievable. It's just, you can't lie and say that there's no walls you gotta jump over, no hurdles you gotta jump across.
Well, are you familiar with the documentary Searching for Sugar Man?
I'm not. What is that?
It's about a Motown musician who kind of went into obscurity in America, but he was a big superstar in South Africa. And the guy who did the film, I think he's South African, he did most of the film on his phone. And he edited, got the app, and he won an Academy Award for it.
There you go.
It came out in 2012. So I would say, is there I think about Oscar Machar, the father of black cinema. If he was alive today, what he'd be doing with all this technology? Because funding was a problem for him. He did everything on the first cut. He didn't do no second shoots, nothing like that. So it is what it is. But he made a lot of movies that people saw. So I'm saying, what would I always think about historical figures. What would Harriet Tubman be doing with Twitter, or John Brown be doing with Snapchat? You know what I mean? I think like that. But he makes some great points. So
yeah, and then there also comes like surveillance. So you bring up Harriet Tubman, which we just seen the screening for at ND Memphis, and it was super inspiring. And actually, I had a conversation with my partner, and I was talking about how I was so inspired and why I felt like I had these barriers that were invisible. Because she had way worse barriers and she was capable to do what she did. But in a world of iPhones and drones, and there's no way. There is a reason why she was able to run through the woods and not get caught. You can't do that now. So you can't compare. You can't. I'm not saying what she did was easy. I'm saying it was difficult in that time, and I think it wouldn't have been possible at this time.
Okay. So what is your favorite movie of all time? You have a favorite movie or movies?
I don't have a favorite movie of all time. I have movies that inspire me a lot. Get Out being one of them, which I'll always and forever bring up. I thought it changed the game for black cinema. Definitely created its own genre. It's another one. I think that's my favorite one right now. Moonlight, of course. Anything Barry makes. Yeah, I would say those two. Jordan Peele, Barry. Anything that they create.
Okay.
I gravitate towards, just because they're the weird black guys, the black guys that aren't the stereotypical black guys, and I feel like that's, I guess, the mold I fit in.
Okay.
So it's great to see people that look like me and act like me win.
That's excellent. Okay, also, what is your dream project for you? Like, you would like to work on in your career? What would be like a dream project?
I think I'm working on my dream project right now. It's in its very early stages, but my dream project is to write a series, a meaningful series that will be able to inform the public and have it be on a platform such as HBO, which is my main goal. Netflix, Amazon, Apple's coming out with its own platform, so is Disney. But that would be my dream goal, is to write and to research and write a project for these bigger platforms.
You got any parting words or thoughts you'd like to share with our audience?
I would say just don't let anything stop you, and don't be scared to take take that initial step. It was very scary for me coming out here alone my first time. Now I'm here with a group, but first time I came out here, I was all alone, and I'd never been to the South before, so it was a new adventure, but everybody was so welcoming and so open and willing to share with me. So I feel like I was creating walls that didn't exist. So don't try your hardest not to create those walls. I understand that it's hard sometimes, but just know that any wall can be jumped.
And how can people contact you or find your content and support it?
You can, oh gosh, I don't even have a website right now. Oh my gosh.
Remember the name, they can Google your name.
Google my name, Alba Roland Mejia. I'm on IMDb, Alba Roland Mejia, 3 names. I'm working on my platform right now. It's in the works, so I'm sure by the time you see this and Google it, it'll be up.
He never call you Alba Gold. I don't know. I mean, your Instagram.
Alba Gold. Yeah, that was my Instagram. That's my Instagram name. I created.
For you. I'm sorry about that.
It's all good.
SiStar Alba Roland. You are rolling indeed. Telling our stories from the righteous ancestors and beyond. I want to thank you and encourage you on your spiritual journey, and also creating this great content for our people to enjoy. So in the words of Great Skeleton, we love you madly. Keep on producing and pushing.